Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Slay a Tray Thursday. This week we're doing our own thing, and that is a dangerous concept. Put me in a box, tell me we're doing bows or coffee or I don't know, convertibles. I'll find a way to make that work. But turn me loose on my own and I don't even know what to say most times. And honestly, I really struggled this week. Shocking, I know. But oddly enough, I didn't struggle with the resin, but I kind of struggled with what to say. Because what I want to say, it's not what you're supposed to say. This week, this tray, it represents things that they're not light, they're not airy, it's not full of glitter, it's heavy, it's anger, it's frustration. And I've been wrestling with how to share that because the unspoken rule of resin videos is you keep it upbeat and pretty and light and throw some glitter in it. And I usually do that, but this week, this tray, I don't know, it represents this darkness that I've been carrying, and I honestly am really, really struggling to contain it. This world right now, this is not what we were promised. When I was a kid, the line was, do what you're told, and if you worked hard and you kept your head down, you did the right thing, that everything would just be okay. You'd build a good life, you'd be safe, you'd be secure, stay in your lane, and everything would work out. But lately, that belief feels so cracked to me. The world, it feels louder and meaner, and people are angry and cruel, and everything feels like it's teetering on the edge of something that I can't even name. And it's so unbelievably overwhelming to witness the things that are happening and what people can do to each other, the indifference and the hostility, the hurt, the depravity. So this tray, it's not soft and it's not cheerful and it's not sparkling with joy. It's real and it's raw and it's heavy and it holds the frustration and the grief and the fear that sits in the middle of my chest when I think about the world that our kids are growing up in and the world that they inherit. And maybe it's not pretty, but it's honest. And, art doesn't always come from joy. Sometimes it comes from survival. So instead of pretending that everything is fine, I thought I would pour it. This week I went with a rectangular tray, something simple, something that encompasses exactly where I'm at. And I started with 8 ounces of just my favorite Temu resin, made it jet black because let's face it, that's what this week has felt like, heavy, opaque, all-consuming. And then I wanted to add a little bit of fluorescent pink because even in the dark, there's always something bright, right? Every darkness has some sort of light, some sort of sparkle, something like that. And so I mixed up about half an ounce of some super bright fluorescent pink glitter, or not glitter, resin, no glitter. And I let this set. So I poured in my black. I let it set for about an hour. And at the same time, I had mixed up the pink and I also just let it set in a cup on the side also for an hour. I came back in every 25 minutes or so just to test it and kind of see how thick it was. And the stick, you can see right there, if I put it in the middle of the cup, it stands up on its own. And that's kind of the consistency I was looking for. I didn't want the pink to completely fall into the black. I did worry though, because when you put the pink on the black and the black shines through, I did worry if that was going to change the color of the pink because ultimately I wanted that pink to kind of be in the forefront. I wanted that pink to scream, it's going to be better, it's going to be okay, everything's going to work out, because there's always darkness, right? But everything's going to work out. But you know what? The black, the pink did not stay pink. It turned red as it sunk into the black. It turned red and angry and loud. Like, the darkness didn't just sit there. It changed every single thing that it touched, which was fairly apropos for this tray. So I went with it. I took my stick. I drew some just random designs in it, and I let it set. And I let it set for the next 24 hours with the hope that maybe when I come back that it wouldn't be as red, even though I realized that was a futile hope. But, you know, if you don't have hope, what do you have? And 24 hours later, here we are, and it's red. It's very, very red. And it's so close to what I wanted. Like, so close. The design is there. I just wanted that pink to be more prominent, but I really should have thought that through, and I probably should have gone with a white base if I wanted the pink to really shine through. So I decided to try it again and take a different approach this time. So this time I decided to flip the script and start with a light. I poured 8 ounces of that fluorescent pink into the bottom, and I set aside, you'll see there's some fluorescent pink in that cup over there. I set aside about half an ounce, and yes, it's pink, but I'm going to add some black to it, and then we're going to try and do the black on top of the pink and see what difference that makes. I also let this set for about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. I got busy doing something else. And when I came back out, the black was pretty thick, but that's okay. Thick is fine. So I'm just going to kind of do the same general idea. I'm just going to pour some black streaks on top of the pink and kind of blend them in and see what we can come up with. I really want to go for that abstract, dark, ragey, jagged edge idea. That was my thought. And then I started swirling this around with this stick. I don't know what I was thinking. I originally had this vision of swipes across the canvas, right? You take a palette knife and you just swipe the paint across the canvas. That was kind of what I was originally thinking. And then somehow my stick became a ballerina and started twirling the black into the pink. And somehow the twirling of the black, it softened it. It took away those harsh edges. It dulled them a little bit. And I guess maybe that's what this tray is teaching me this week. It's, darkness is real, and it may be there. It may be in the background. It may be in the foreground, but it can be part of your story, but it's not the whole canvas. That's what I'm going to take away from this tray. It's simple and it's basic, but it is 1,000% how I feel right now. I noticed that the lighting makes this look reddish. It's not. It's actually quite bright pink, but I do realize it looks a little red. But the black kind of drew into the center. It kind of pulled away, which is totally fine. It's a little more muted than I wanted, but I still think it encapsulates what I was thinking for this tray. Neither one of these trays went how I had planned them. When did they ever? The colors changed, the mood changed, I think I changed, and honestly, that feels about right. Sometimes it's just okay to not be okay, and pour a tray and it'll make you feel better. At least it'll help you harness some of that frustration and anger and all of the feelings. Okay, friends, so if you've made it this far, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for listening to me rant and rave. And I promise you that if you come back in 2 weeks, that we will do something fun and light and airy and glittery. In 2 weeks, it's Spring Petals. And I have a cute little idea planned. So come back, join me. And don't forget to check out the other creators who are down in the playlist in the description box below. I'm certain that there are going to be some incredible trays this week. I've already seen a preview of Kathy's, and it is fantastic. So go check out the other creators, and thank you for being a part of this, and I hope to see you next time.